Example 8. Given f of x is equal to 2x minus 3 all over x plus 4, find f inverse. Give the domain and range of both f and f inverse. All right, so this is another one of those complicated problems where the original function is a fraction and we need to find the inverse function and then state the domain and range of both f and f inverse. Okay, you don't have to worry about graphing here at all. Okay, I am going to start by dealing with the domain of the original function. Okay, the original function is a fraction, it is a rational function. So for the domain of f, I know that the bad spots are going to be when the bottom is equal to 0. Okay, so I need to take the bottom, set it equal to 0, and solve. Okay, so I'm going to get that x equals negative 4 is a bad spot. Okay, if you go back to the original function, if you plug in negative 4, you're going to get negative 4 plus 4. That's going to be 0 in the bottom. That's bad. Okay, so the domain of the original function is going to be all real numbers except x equals negative 4. Okay, so I'm going to come down here, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the domain of the original function. It's all real numbers except for negative 4. Okay, and I know the domain of the original function is going to be the same as the range of the inverse function. Okay, so I can go ahead without even having found the inverse function. I know its range is going to be all real numbers except for negative 4. Okay, all right, so now has come the time to start finding the inverse function. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original function. I'm going to start by replacing f of x with y. Okay, so we're going to get y equals 2x minus 3 over x plus 4. Okay, and now we've got to interchange x and y. Okay, so everywhere I see a y, I'm going to put an x. Everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a y. Okay, you have two y's to replace on the right side. Okay, all right, so again, what did we do last time? Okay, treat the left side as a fraction. X over 1 is equal to 2y minus 3 over y plus 4. Okay, you have one fraction equal to another, so this times this has to equal this times this. Okay, you can cross multiply anytime you have one fraction equal to another. Okay, so x times the quantity y plus 4 has to be in parentheses. That's got to equal 1 times 2y minus 3. Okay, so this is going to be x times y plus 4 is equal to 2y minus 3. Okay, all right, so next, what do we do? Okay, your first instinct is correct. You need to distribute on the left side. So you're going to get x times y plus 4 times x. Okay, so x times y plus 4 times x has to equal 2y minus 3. Okay, you are trying to solve for y. That means you need to have y equals on the left, and on the right you can only have x's. Okay, you can't have any y's. Okay, so once we've distributed, we've ended up with two pieces that have y's. Okay, the stuff that I've highlighted in green, those guys have y's. Okay, I'm going to put them on one side of the equation, and then the other two pieces that I didn't highlight, they don't have y's, so I'm going to put them on the other side of the equation. Okay, and it doesn't matter. I generally move all the y stuff to the left and all the x stuff to the right. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to move this 2y over. Since it's positive, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract it. Okay, so we're going to get x times y minus 2y plus 4x is equal to, on the right side, these two guys cancel. Okay, so it's going to be equal to negative 3. Okay, so I've got all the y stuff on the left. Okay, the 4x does not have a y, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to move it to the other side by subtracting. Okay, so we're going to get x times y minus 2y is equal to negative 4x minus 3, and I've really got what I want, kind of, okay? Everything that has a y is on the left side, and everything that doesn't have a y is on the right side, okay? So we're getting there, okay? Here comes the next big trick. This is what you do to get y by itself, okay? On the left, both pieces have a y. It is common to both pieces, okay? So I'm running out of room here, so I'm going to go down here, okay? So let me draw a little arrow. I'm going down here, okay? On the left side, I'm going to factor out a y, okay? If I factor out a y, I'm going to be left with x minus 2, okay? And you can check yourself. If you distributed this, you would get x times y minus 2y, okay? That's going to equal what I have on the right. And then to get y by itself, it's multiplied by this x minus 2 quantity, so the opposite is going to be to divide it off, to divide it off. Okay, so let me write this again. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by x minus 2. Okay, and then on the left side, the x minus 2's will cancel. Okay, and I'm going to draw another arrow here because I'm running out of room. Okay, so I'm going to get that y is equal to negative 4x minus 3 over x minus 2. We have solved it for y. On the left side, you just have y. On the right side, there are only x's. There aren't any y's. Okay? So here's our answer. The inverse function is negative 4x minus 3 all over x minus 2. Okay? This is the inverse function. Okay? We are almost done. Okay? We still need to write down the domain of f inverse, which is the same as the range of f. Okay? We just found the formula for f inverse. Okay? It is a fraction, so we can figure out its domain. Okay? The domain of f inverse. Okay? Since this is a fraction, let's figure out the bad spot. The bad spot is when the bottom is equal to 0. Okay, so set the bottom equal to 0 and solve. The bad spot is going to be 2. Okay, so the domain of f inverse is going to be all real numbers except for x equals 2. Okay, so the domain of f inverse is going to be all real numbers except for positive 2. And so we know without graphing that the range of f is going to be, let me put it in blue, okay, the range of f is going to be all real numbers except for 2. Okay, done. Okay, we have our inverse function. We've got the domain and range of both f and f inverse. Okay, so you've just got to practice if you're trying to find the inverse function of a rational function. Okay, you're going to have to switch x and y. You're going to have to make the left side a fraction. You're going to have to cross multiply and then distribute. The key is moving things around so that everything that has a y is on the left side. Everything that just has an x or is just a number is on the right side. And then you have to factor out a y on the left side. Okay, and then divide the factor off. That is key. Okay, so make sure you practice something like this.